Do you support the annexation of Canada and/or Greenland? And this is a yes or no question. I don't want you to wander off into the woods. I don't want to hear about your latest week in your office. Okay, so I'm trying to get your opinion on this as a yes or no. Do you support Trump on annexing Canada or Greenland? And do you like the way he treats the premier or the president of Canada, calling him governor? Is that the way you do as a diplomat? Is that the way the United States should act to our closest neighbors?
Great question.
You know, is this, and I've still got a little more time. Do you enjoy the way he's tried to extort minerals from the Ukraine? Do you like bullying people that need your help? Do you go for kicking the guy when he's down? Do you support Trump in these things? And this is a yes or no.
The no's in there. Let me answer the first one, and then there was one that really stuck out that I'd like to also answer. I believe your first question that you wanted yes or no is, do I support annexing Greenland and Canada? The short answer to that is no, I do not.
Why do you endlessly support the guy who wants to, then?
There was another question in there. I think it was, do I support a deal? I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. A deal with Ukraine in obtaining minerals and helping the United States taxpayer recoup the $140 billion or so that we've sent over there. The answer is yes, I do support that.
Okay, that is incredibly dishonest framing from Representative Chuck Edwards, who held a town hall in Nashville, North Carolina last night and got a lot of shit from his constituents. People in his district showed up and said, dude, your take on Ukraine, terrible. Your take on Doge, extra terrible. Your take on Greenland and Canada, it was okay there. He said he doesn't support annexation, but when push came to shove, if Trump actually asked him one-on-one, Chuck Edwards would support annexation. Now, I have more clips to play, but I do want to point out really quickly when it comes to that last Ukraine talking point. The representative is very slippery and says, of course I support the mineral deal, but that wasn't the question. The question was if you support Trump taking advantage of Ukraine, getting their minerals while Ukraine is already down, being invaded, and then not giving them any security guarantees. That was the question, because it was a complete trick of a deal that Trump proposed to Ukraine. There is a deal somewhere in there where minerals and security guarantees go hand in hand. And that's what Zelensky said, but that's not what Trump offered. Let's watch this next one where Chuck Edwards continues to have kind of a tough time.
Our next question is from Kathleen, zip code 28804. Why do you support a president that cares nothing about NATO, Ukraine, and democracy, but cares about Putin and other dictators?
I'm sure Representative Chuck Edwards will have a completely normal, rational answer to this. And notice how the room gives a standing ovation. This is what democracy looks like. I've said this time and time again, and some people find it corny, but when people are protesting J.D. Vance, that's what democracy looks like. When people are going to their town halls and peacefully allowing their voices to be heard. When I see people emailing and calling their senators and representatives relentlessly, that is what democracy looks like. America has a bunch of flaws, but one good thing about America is that there are so many avenues that your voice can be heard before resorting to violence. I'm not saying resort to violence, I'm just saying you don't have to ever do that, because you can vote, you can canvass, you can go to town halls, you can call your representatives. There are so many avenues, and that's what we're seeing in real time right here.
Actually, I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine.
Yeah, Trump is supportive insofar as he gets a mineral deal that only benefits the United States. He is supportive of ripping Ukraine off while allowing Russia to grab land and legitimizing Vladimir Putin's broader strategy. Vladimir Putin has a broader strategy of grabbing land and just waiting for the West to kind of give up, and that's what Trump did. Trump just straight up gave up.
I believe the president recognizes that Putin is a murderous dictator.
I mean, for somebody that apparently recognizes that, Trump has sure never said that out loud or even hinted towards it. In fact, he's only said nice things about Vladimir Putin. Let's take a look at this next clip. I think you guys will enjoy it. By the way, make sure to drop some likes and spam some blue hearts for these pro-democracy warriors out there.
I think I sense maybe a faction in this room of folks that might not have voted for President Trump. And I'll say that I happen to believe very much that President Trump supports our Constitution.
How do you say the wrong thing every time? It reminds me of that town hall about a month ago. One of the first town halls that ended up going viral online. The Republican representative said, you know, this reminds me of when Biden, and the entire crowd booed. They're like, we don't want to hear about Biden. And then he goes, you know who else booed? The January 6ers. And then the crowd starts booing even more. It's like these Republican representatives have the worst political instincts when they're in a room full of people who disagree.
And I sleep good at night knowing that every vote that I cast is in support of our Constitution and your freedoms and limited government.
This guy would have 100%, I'm not sure if he was in Congress, he would have 100% voted that the 2020 election was stolen. He would have backed Trump up every step of the way. I hate this game that Republicans play when they act like they're pro-Constitution, but their actions show completely different intentions. So this guy will sit here in front of a room and relentlessly claim that he supports the Constitution, but when Trump wants to tear up the Constitution, whether it's birthright citizenship or just free and fair elections, Chuck Edwards, this representative right here, will be lockstep the entire way. Watch this clip.
Be reinstated for at least 45 days, and then there would be another process to evaluate where we're at there. One more. Okay. I feel like this is not productive with everybody yelling at me. I mean, if you want to hear, yeah.
Oh, he's the victim. He's the big old victim. I feel like this is not productive with everybody yelling at me. Homie, you are the representative in your own district. You have the stage with your name behind you. Your name is right there. You have the microphone and the entire stage. What do you mean it's not productive? It's only as productive or unproductive as you make it. If you're going to stand up there and you're going to kind of pivot, not really answer questions, run the clock out, then yeah, it's not going to be productive. But if you're going to stand up there and say, I represent you, I will listen to you, then it's very productive. It's only as productive as the representative wants it to be because he's the leader. He's the leader of the district. Let's check this out.
Even before President Trump was elected, there were people working inside these agencies that had access, that were required access to the information. You should also know that those employees and folks that serve with DOJ have gone through the same exact security screens as everyone else.
There is no proof of that whatsoever. In fact, CNN sent out a FOIA request less than a month ago, and in response, CNN learned that the entire FOIA department that sends out these informational requests just gone. Those people were fired, so you can't get the FOIA request. Now, there are still people sending out FOIAs, but in this case, CNN could not get it. We don't know if they have the security clearance, and I'll leave it at that. You know, there's a lot of points I can make about DOJ, about Ukraine, about what they're saying here, but I think the broad point, I don't want to dig into any of the minutiae of these talking points right now. The broad point here is that this is democracy in action. When representatives begin to feel the pressure mounting, when they feel a thumb pushing them down and they're like, okay, maybe my constituents aren't happy, Then the result is Republicans in closed-door meetings with Elon Musk and Donald Trump begin to kind of tell Elon off. We saw less than a week ago, Elon Musk was told by Republican senators that he has got to stop going around. He has got to stop going around Congress, and he has to start doing this the right way. And that's because these representatives were sick of being screamed at. These senators were sick of getting all the backlash. So the point is, our voices can be heard. All of our voices together create a chorus that Chuck Edwards will hear. I know sometimes it feels kind of useless just calling your representative, but it's not. If I call my representative and then the 120,000 people watching this video, give or take, also call their representative, imagine the voices that can be heard if everybody watching this video did one call a day, went to town halls, turned this into a pro-democracy movement. I'll stop yapping. I'll leave it there. Drop a like, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.